Hey guys, welcome to This Messy Bun. Today we're making one of my favorite sandwiches, the Cubano. Cubano is a Cuban sandwich that has been said to have been born in Cuba but educated in Key West. It's wildly popular in Florida. In fact, there is like a fun little rivalry between Miami and Tampa because both claim to be the home of the Cubano. So, yeah, I know stuff. You know, it's true to most food, like there's so much like history behind it. So definitely, when you are trying out new sandwiches or, making different things, kind of do some research, look at it, look it up. So this sandwich is actually super easy. It just requires a little bit of love. It's not hard. There's bread, which typically you use a Cuban bread, but since that's not really easy to find here, I'm going to be doing ciabatta. I have experimented with several types of bread, and ciabatta is definitely my favorite. Then you have pulled pork, which we're going to be making, ham, Swiss, mustard, and then I like to do caramelized onion on there just for like my fun little twist. But yeah, so that's it. Super easy. So for the pork, we're going to be doing this gorgeous pork shoulder. You see it? Maybe. Yeah, it's kind of gross, just be whatever. Okay, pork shoulder. And then we're going to be making a marinade that's going to be cooking in. So for the marinade, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of cumin. Why are words so hard for me? God. 2 tablespoons of oregano. A teaspoon of onion powder. We're going to be doing 4 to 6 cloves of garlic. And I say 4 to 6 cloves because like these guys are really freaking huge, right? So this 4 is going to be enough. But if your cloves are smaller, then definitely go for the 6 on that. I was going to say huge ass, but I don't know if ass is allowed. I should have used my scooper thingy. That would have been smart. So to that, we're going to add the juice of an orange. And we're going to save this because we're going to add it to the pork as well. The acidity from the lime and the orange is really, really, really going to help this pork out. The pork is going to be able to stand up to it. Oh, I'm squirting. And 2 limes. And we're also going to be saving the lime as well. I'm also going to do just a little bit of olive oil, maybe 2 tablespoons or so. Give that a mix. I'm not going to put salt and pepper in here because I'm going to aggressively season the pork itself. So the bark, again, I'm using a pork shoulder, and what I kind of like to do is give it a little bit of some cuts in here, just so the flavor of the marinade kind of just sinks into it. So a lot of salt and pepper. And I'm also leaving the fat that's on here on the pork. You can cut it if you want to, but that fat is going to like just give so much flavor. And I like for the fatty part to be on top, so when it cooks, it just kind of cooks down into the pan. You know what I forgot is crushed red pepper. Crushed red pepper, just a little bit, because a little is going to go a long way. Probably like a 1/4 teaspoon or so. Okay. So we are going to add this. It smells so good. Awesome. So this is going to cook in the Dutch oven, in a preheated oven at 325 degrees for about 3 hours. We want it to become a pulled pork for the sandwich. You can also do it in a crock pot. I've done that many times before. Almost for 6 hours or so, and you're good to go. Oh shoot. Correct. This guy was in there. So that's it. Now we have 3 hours to go. We are going to be doing caramelized onion, and that will probably take about 15 to 20 minutes to really break down. We're going to do that in butter and olive oil. It's going to be delicious. So we'll do that guy later. And then we are going to be using a panini press too, because traditionally, Cubano is a pressed sandwich. If you don't have a panini, why are words so hard for me? If you don't have a panini press, you can just do it like on a skillet on the stove, and then use another pan or something heavy on top to get it to squeeze down. You can even just throw your roll in the oven and let it bake up, you know, for a few minutes until it gets kind of that crunchy texture on the outside, and that works fine too. I've done that too. So yeah, gonna get cleaned up and let that guy cook off for a few hours, and then we'll come back to it.
2 seconds later.
Guys, I forgot to put this in there, which we need, so please hold. Telling you, I have issues. So I'm gonna kind of rest this on the meat itself. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna let it cook for 3 hours and come back and check on it.
3 hours later.
And we're back. Did you miss me? Probably. Okay. Alright, so we're coming up to our 3 hours or so of our pork being ready. So we're going to start on our caramelized onion. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our pan on about medium low. Into that I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of butter and olive oil. The butter is going to give it a nice flavor, and the olive oil is going to stop it from burning. So we'll do 2 of those. And then I cut up 1 yellow onion. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and let that kind of gel out for a minute. Gel out, melt down, you know, hang out for a minute, and then we're gonna put our onions in. And I'm just gonna season it with salt and pepper. That's it, because the pork is gonna have a ton of flavor. And it's been cooking, like I said, for almost 3 hours, and we are all salivating, starving.
So hungry.
Yeah. Kayla's reminded me, thank you, that 2 hours in I flipped the pork, so that everything was getting all happy and yummy in there all together. Thanks, sister. Good looking out. Add our onions. And like I said, just salt and pepper. All you need. Cool. So yeah, that's on medium low, and that's gonna go for probably about 20-30 minutes. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting for things. And then the sandwich, though, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so worth the wait. And it's not hard. I mean, it's not difficult to, I mean, the oven's doing all your cooking for you, or your crock pot, or whatever you're gonna use. The onions will do its thing over their 20 minutes. But once everything comes together, that's when the magic happens. It's really worth it. It's gonna be so good. So I just pulled our onions from the pan. They look really nice and beautiful, lots of texture and color. It's gonna be really yummy. I also pulled our pork from the oven. So let's give that a look. Ooh, yes. Okay, use this bowl here. See, it's already falling apart. All the meat. I'm also going to get rid of the lime and the orange, because I'm going to use the juice once we shred the pork and pour it back onto the pork. Which, I mean, come on. so good. Why is this thing so loud? Okay, grab a couple forks and just shred through this guy. Okay. Before I pour the juice back on here, I'm going to do some more salt and pepper. Okay, now we're going to take all of this amazing, oh no, it's buttery juice. And I want to get all the garlic bits that are here. Yum. Kind of give that a little mix in. Look good? Smells amazing. Try that. Tell me what you think. How is it? The lime and the orange just complement the pork so well. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So, our sandwich. Pulled pork, onion, which is my spin on things, not traditional. And then we also are going to do Swiss pickle and ham and mustard. It's going to be so good. But first we're going to work on our bread. We're going to use this awesome ciabatta bread today. This is going to work perfectly to kind of hold everything in. It's going to be really good. Okay, so I have this panini press. It's been getting hot here for us. I melted about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. So what I'm going to do is butter this bottom side. Okay, down. To that, I'm going to do a little bit of mustard. Then we're gonna do some of this ham. I'm using Black Forest ham because I like the flavor of that, but you can use whatever ham you want to do. I'm gonna do 3 slices. To that, I'm gonna do these sandwich pickles. And then we're going to do a little bit of our onion. Maybe a little bit more. Trying to make it look pretty. And then our pork. We don't want to be stingy, right? Looks pretty good. Then our Swiss cheese on there. Alright, and then we're gonna butter our top bun. Make sure everybody's happy. Some more mustard. Alright. So we're just gonna let that go for a few minutes. On about high. Okay, so the sandwich has been in the oven for a few minutes, so it should be, yes, done. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for it to press down and be a pressed sandwich. You hear that? Crunchy. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. It's gonna be so good. This way. Alright, so we caught the sandwich and I cannot wait to take a look in there and see what it looks like. Alright, so oh my gosh, this thing looks amazing. Mustard, pickle, ham, pulled pork, cheese. It's gonna be so good. I seriously don't even know where to start. I mean, look at this. Oh like a little hollow of heaven. I seriously would just scarf this whole thing down right now, but that would be so super rude. It was so good. This is why this is one of my favorite sandwiches ever. Yes, the pork did take a few hours. But a few hours in the oven and go about your day. So many wonderful things happening here. The ham brings the Black Forest ham has like this really nice taste to it. The pickle has the acidity. The onions are cooked down so they're sweet. And there's so much acidity in the lime and the orange from the marinade that we made. The garlic, the Swiss cheese, everything just plays so perfectly together. Like, this sandwich is amazing. You just have to make this sandwich. It's so good. Not a lot of ingredients, ton of flavor. I mean, I can see why this sandwich is the sandwich of Florida. It's so popular there. Oh my god, it's just so good. I love you, little sandwich. So, per usual, you can find the link in the description for my blog where you can find the recipe to make this amazing sandwich. You guys have to try it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like, comment, if you stay tuned, keep watching. We're gonna have the wine pairing following this last amazing bite. So keep watching, okay? Thanks for hanging out, guys. Stay messy. The wine I chose to pair with this mouth-watering Cubano is a 2018 Cabernet from Dark Horse. This full-bodied wine is a perfect balance of dry and fruity. With notes of black cherry, blackberry, and oak, this wine complements a rich Cubano perfectly. With big flavor and a smooth mouthfeel, this wine is a winner. Ultimately, this pairing will prove you cannot count this excellent wine and humble sandwich out of the flavor race. The quality of grapes and attentive winemaking solidify this cab to be one of my favorite wines. Paired with my favorite sandwich, you cannot go wrong. This winning wine can be found in most marketplaces, as well as online on sites such as wine.com.